Well, friends, I had just done a Facebook Live earlier today, actually, August the 10th, 2017. I actually accidentally had done two of them because my finger bumped it one time and I was disconnected, so I just started over. I didn't really start over, but I continued it. Friends, here's the thing. I want to get very real with you. You have dreams that you've never continued to work on. You were shut down emotionally. You were shut down by people saying you can't. There's a trillion other reasons. But I'm here to tell you, as I said in my Facebook Live, earlier today I had done the Facebook Live earlier tonight, and I said that I was at an appointment with the net, and I utilized my wireless device, also known as a cell phone, and I sent a message, an actual email, to one of my former guests of Humanity Matters Live. And what is the purpose? The purpose is I am going to be moving Humanity Matters Live after 13 and a half long years. I'm going to be going to have it on the mainstream, whether it is local, national, or international. But I'm going to get my break. And I'm not going to try to get it. I'm not going to ask for it. I'm going to get it. Now, those of you who may think I'm being arrogant, I'm going to do this really with God's help. Those of you who believe, I love it. Those of you who don't, that's okay too. I love that too. See, I love you, so it doesn't really matter. Now, to say that one is going to get discovered and one eventually is going to be famous sounds incredibly egotistical, delusional, if you will, and almost impossible. But it is not possible. It is not impossible. You see, it's possible. Like Les Brown says. So what I started doing is I contacted a few national networks. And now I decided I want to get some of my former guests to give me a reference and explain what their experience was like. Because I feel that will empower me when I bring the package to the networks. That said, if I cannot get employed as a network talk show host by an existing network, I will find a way to create my own vehicle. And you may be one of the people that helps us to do that. If they want to put in a roadblock for us and put up roadblocks, we will create our own circumstances and we will overcome them. That said, as I said earlier, I was with the net at an appointment, and yet I worked on my mission, my passion, my goal. Humanity Matters Live, becoming a nationally known and internationally known entity. So, I worked on what I had to do. I didn't let life come in. I didn't let being at that appointment come in. You see, the thing is, my friends, you have all the tools that you need. If you have a smartphone, there's no reason you can't work your mission every day. If you have a smartphone, even when you're on your breaks at your current job, you can do something for whatever it is you want to accomplish. And I'm here to tell you, you have to do it every day. But you may be like I was for a very long time, for years and years and years. I didn't really know exactly, of all the things that I do, what was the number one thing I really want to do. And the truth is, there's a combination, but I see them as one body. It's Humanity Matters Live, the TV show, Humanity Matters Podcast, the podcast, Humanity Matters blog, the YouTube, and the Facebook. It's all media related. Now, that said, of all of the elements of that, the number one priority, the number one love and mission is Humanity Matters Live. Why? Because it can get the greatest results and help the most people. And as we get a larger audience and the background changes and I have a full crew and you are involved, imagine what we will accomplish. Now, I work on my mission every day now. Every day. It hasn't always been like that. I'm finding a way. Even when I want to just say, oh man, I'm just too tired, I'm finding a way. What's all that mean? It means you have to work on every day. You have to work on a number of things, but principally what you really want to do. What you really want to do. You're going to have to work on self-improvement. You're going to have to learn how to do some reading, a lot of reading of books, articles, periodicals, and listening to videos or MP3s or whatever, going to seminars, whatever it takes. And you're going to have to get the different mindset. Get a positive and optimal mindset. Because once you do, nobody on earth is going to be able to stop you. So even if every network in America or around the globe turned me down, I will ultimately get what I said. A paid national and international position in the talk show industry. More important than the money is the message. What more important than the money is what we can do to help so many millions or billions of people around the globe. For example, I have a war on poverty. You've heard that term before, but the reality is it hasn't happened. But I really do. And you see, this is why what I'm about to say to you now is going to be a very courageous step that you're going to need to take. And it's going to be a hard one. I need you to start getting a notebook. Yes, an actual real notebook, paper, and an ink pen or a pencil. And I want you to take that book with you. So get it small enough you can put it in your purse, your sack, wherever. And every time you have to say no due to overcoming a cash flow problem, like Les Brown says, and not having the money, at least at that time. Every time something stops you because of finances, I want you to write it down. And I want you to do that if you're in a store, a restaurant, wherever you are. Places you want to go that you can't. Maybe a trip you want to take that you can't. Write it down. And then I want you to start writing down every single mission and or goal or want that you have. Now this entire process may take one day or it may take a year. But as you finally complete all the things that you couldn't afford, let me rephrase that. At the time, you were overcoming a cash flow problem. You write everything down, no matter how long it takes, and you keep looking at it for your motivation. Now, I want you at that point, once you have your list complete, there'll be more than one list. Things you couldn't get because of a cash flow problem and things you really wanted to do. Then I want you to do what I have done. Figure out what you really want of all those things and start listing them in priority. In order of priorities, I should say, or priority. Now, after you do that, I want you to work on whatever it is. I want that to be your priority and work on it every single day. Even if it's only a half hour, work on it. Every day without fail. That's right. Sometimes you can decide to take a half day off, maybe only do 15 minutes, but you know, that's your dream. That's what may change your life in every aspect. You don't have time to be taking a day off. That means no holidays, no Sundays, nothing. What you do is at least do 15 minutes. Now that's what I'll be doing. Now the idea of me contacting the major networks seems off the wall. So did the idea of Facebook when Mark Zuckerberg created it. Same thing with, Apple computers and Windows. So just because it may not seem possible, trust me, Les Brown's right. It's possible. Now you're going to have to put the time in. You're going to have to put the work in. And I want to say this to the 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and all the way up to 150-year-olds, if they live that long. You need to do the work. You need to change your mindset and train, get motivated, but you need to do the work. And you need to believe that you can do it because, first of all, you matter. Second of all, your circumstances is not you. It does not define you. You define you. Your bosses can't define you. Your teachers can't define you. Your own parents can't. If you happen to be involved with, let's say, an organization or a gang, they can't define you. Only you can define you. Now, I'm asking you to take these incredibly difficult tasks, whether it takes 1 day or 1 year or more. When you find your number one mission, your number one passion, dream, you work on it every day, I believe you're going to get there. And even if you don't get there, you're going to find something just as great or better. Now you might say, well, what if I get to where I want to be my number one? What do I do next? You have an entire list. If you have 10 things or a million things, you keep working on them the rest of your life and daily. And daily. Now you, sir, and you, ma'am, you're going to be unique. You're not going to be the person who doesn't read real books. You're not going to be the person that doesn't go to webinars or seminars. You're not going to be the person who doesn't do what you need to do to get ahead. You're going to be the exception, and then everybody around you who decided not to do it, one day they're going to be looking to you for advice. Now, you may be a 16-year-old working a fast food job. When you hear this, you may be ready to turn this off, but you will be their advisor, maybe officially, maybe unofficially. Because once they see you in a position of responsibility and greatness, and maybe even mentorship, they're going to come to you. Yes, before you go through all that and win, they're going to be putting you down. Get ready for it. Your mom might put you down, your dad, your best friend. But don't worry what other people say about you. And I know it's going to be hard, but I have faith in you. You can give me a call at 412-559-2731. That's right. Now don't block your number and don't bother to make it private because I won't answer those calls. But if you do that and you leave me a message, I'll call you back. The point is, you have to fight for what you want. And the minute you stop fighting for what you want, life will bring what you don't want back into your life. That's something that he phrased it in that sort of way, Les Brown. So let me use an Albert Torcaso way of putting things. If you don't do this, and your entire life is a situation where you don't have access to the best health care, the best education, best trips or homes or whatever it is you want, or jobs or careers or businesses, if you don't do this, you're cheating yourself. You see, the truth is, you can do this. I know that it's hard. It's frightening. You really think when I was writing this letter to this very famous man, prominent man, actually one of the best in his field, do you think that there wasn't some doubt? Do you think that there wasn't some, well, what if he doesn't answer? What if he just says no? Sure there was. But we don't let it stop us. And you must not let it stop you. And I want to say this. What if you happen to be a person that life has discriminated against you simply because of your religion or the way you looked? or the way you spoke, or because you were of a certain persuasion sexually or religiously? What if life has already decimated you? Do you really think you should go through life allowing that? No. You know, you may have to accept it in some cases, deal with it to save your life and protect yourself. And I think we know what I'm referring to. But you don't have to stop living your best life. You can improve yourself. And that is what you must do. And I know a filmmaker who's been very concerned about 1,000 things, it seems. I'm here to tell you, move forward. Let fear not get to you. Work on your scripts. Work on doing your filming. And don't worry about if somebody steals your idea. Because you know what? In the final analysis, your talents will overcome any obstacle. You know, if somebody were to take my Humanity Matters series in the way I do things, sure, I wouldn't be pleased. I'd be quite angry. Might even try to see if I can legally do anything. But in the final analysis, I'm me, and they can imitate me, but they can't replace me. And for everything they would steal from me, that they would steal, I would have 5 to 25 brand new things. They're not going to catch up. And the same goes for you. Now, I don't know if you are in high school and you're being bullied, in college and you have issues, or what your situation is. But I do know, work 30 minutes or more a day on your mission. Even if you're at an appointment or at a job, you know, on your breaks, they're your breaks. Instead of taking the time to do texting or getting online, do what is important to your mission. Hanging with the ladies, hanging with the honeys, hanging with the boys or the girls. Take those weekends off. I know, sacrifice, right? But think of it as putting money in a bank account or some kind of financial institution. Every time you do that, it's called useful suffering. Every time you accomplish a small little task, you are one step closer to having a huge deposit in your financial institution, as a metaphor. It's like the work you do would be the equivalent maybe of earning 20 grand. Now, let me ask you this. If you had the chance of earning $20,000 or going out for some drinks, which one would you choose? Now, some people would have said the drinks, but they forget if they had the $20,000, they can buy pretty much all the drinks they want to. You have wisdom in you. You have greatness in you. Matter of fact, you have genius in you. So work your mission. No less than 30 minutes a day. Preferably an hour to 3 hours. Maybe an hour to 5 hours. Don't put a time limit on it. If you have the time, work on it. Ask me what I'm doing. You see this video we're doing right now? This is part of moving the series forward. Why must I get discovered? Why must I be famous and rich or wealthy? Because of the things that I can do, the influence that I can have, the wrongs that I can help right. But it's not just going to be me. I'm asking you to be a part of it. That's right. Why do you think I gave you 412-559-2731? Yes, you can't answer me back when you're watching these videos. And I don't like that, by the way. But you are as vital to my success as I hopefully will be one day to yours. And I may want you as talent. I may want you as a grip or lighting specialist or audio or writer or whatever. You're not being left out. Maybe this will even spark a new passion for you, a new career. And we're going to start out by getting our foot, metaphorically speaking, into the door. But make no mistake, I will not quit. And in fact, for those of you that are people that are quote unquote haters, I love you anyway. But for the haters, I would expect me to increase what I do 10 to 1,000-fold. That means if you don't like my political or religious views or whatever it is, get ready for an onslaught. Oh, and I will give you something that, whether it angers you or not, I'm going to tell you. When it comes to the Affordable Health Care Act, the Obamacare, I am going to do everything in my legal power, financial, ethical, and peaceful and influential powers as a talk show host, as a podcaster, as a YouTuber and a Facebooker. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that it never comes to pass. The repeal will never come to pass if I can help the other millions. We will not privatize Medicare if I can help it. We will not privatize Social Security, and we will not destroy Medicaid. So those of you who may not like that politically, mount up your efforts, because I'm increasing mine 10 to 1,000, if not 1,000,000-fold. When it is right, it is right. When it is wrong, it can never be right. And it is wrong to privatize Medicaid, to gut and destroy privatize. It is wrong to privatize Medicare, to gut Medicaid, destroy Obamacare, cripple, and then eventually, ultimately destroy Social Security. And it is an abomination to defund Planned Parenthood, an abomination to defund the CHIP program, which helps our kids. So for the Republican Party and all of the Republican supporters, understand, I may love you in a larger sense, but I'm going to do everything I can to stop you, because it is wrong. And you shouldn't feel that way. You should feel patriotic about this country. Instead of trying to gut Medicare, you should bring more, so that not one American goes without medical care. You shouldn't come up with the excuse we can't afford it, because it's a lie. I mean, we could pretty it up, but it is a lie. And as for you, I still love you in a larger sense and spiritually. And I want to hear your feedback. But I will not placate to any president, any queen or king or emperor, if there were one. Because, as Martin Luther King has said, when there is injustice anywhere, there is injustice everywhere. So we could add and change it. When there is inequality anywhere, there is inequality everywhere. So you have your mission now. Work your mission. What it is you want, number one, out of everything. You work that mission, that goal, that dream. 30 minutes a day. And to the filmmaker who had been on my Bill Cardille episode, you especially, the first letter G, I expect a written script from you, young man. A written script very soon. No excuses, no delays. In fact, you can do it. I have confidence in you, man. You have genius in you. Do you hear me out there? Yeah, Mr. GC. You have genius in you. I love all of you. But for now, do the work. Because you know what? You deserve it. Thank you for listening. And for those of you who aren't listening, one day you will. And I love you anyway. Remember one thing? Remember that you and humanity and all forms of life really does matter. By the way, one last thing. To the members of Congress, the Republicans in Congress, You will not destroy Medicare, Medicaid, Obamacare, Social Security, or CHIP. I hope you hear me. We will legally, peacefully, financially, and ethically compel you to retreat. You will not harm Americans. We will do something legally, ethically, peacefully, and financially. And in 2018, expect to be voted out.